morning, welcome back. In this session, we will be looking at SWOT analysis. This is under Unit 2 of Management Aspects. The learning outcomes are to apply this SWOT analyzing technique to review and assess management aspects as per the requirements suggested by the relevant regulatory authorities. Now, a SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool that can be employed for assessing strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges of an academic institute. It helps to identify comparative advantages and also understand the barriers that can be affect the chances of not achieving set vision and mission of your institution. It can also provide certain clues to overcome some of the probable impediments for improving performance. And hence SWOT analysis is a good tool to look at what is in store for you in terms of both strengths and weaknesses. Now, SWOT analysis is conducted in a certain way. We'll spend a minute or two on that. Now, generally, broadly, I have simplified it quite a bit here. Two steps, for example, conducting SWOT. One is the internal survey, and another is the external survey. Now, what do we have in internal survey? We have the human resources, we have the infrastructure, we have the governance of the institution, and of course, the most important stakeholder, students. Now, we do contact them in a systematic manner, collect all the information. What is that we think about our own institute, first of all, that is internal survey. In addition to that, we do need public perception, and hence external surveys are required. Now, these are basically information collection. There are different ways of doing it. You can invite those important stakeholders and conduct a brainstorming session, collect a lot of information. Or you can release forms, questionnaires, collect questionnaires, and have that kind of information with you. You can also send a team of yours for interviews and kind of data collection. All that leads to what is known as data collection, and then that data has to be analyzed. That is one more step under external survey only. And once we do this, we do what is known as triangulation. We input this information in the right perspective and analyze that and take out the essence of that and then prepare a report for the management to act or prepare a strategic plan based on this SOWC analysis. And that is the primary purpose of this SOWC analysis. And one of the things which you can do if you are a beginner, let us say, is to look at the matrix. Now, what matrix is including is what is given internally, what you have to do, what is externally involved. Now, there are strengths and there are weaknesses. There are opportunities and challenges externally. Now, the right type of questions you have to ask. Now, some of the questions have been listed here for your reference, namely, what have been the strength of a program or an institution, what we are known for. Now, these are the type of question you have to ask to ascertain your strengths. So when it comes to weaknesses from external factors which can actually bring you out, basically, what are we doing poorly or struggling with? What frustrations or challenges have identified for us? So these type of questions, if you ask and then get some answers, you document that. Similarly, for opportunities, what opportunities will most drastically enhance the quality of the program and then institution. And similarly, for challenges, there are quite a few of them listed. You can have a look at it. What are the key challenges or threats to the quality of our program that can be addressed? What are others doing that we are not doing? So such questions, if you ask, set of questions, you can frame your own questions, no problem. And once you do that, your stage is set for a typical SWOT analysis. Moving forward, you may ask a question, why an educational institution need such an analysis? Now, in order to survive and prosper in a hyper-competitive environment, all institution leaders are required to identify their strengths and reduce their weaknesses, take advantages of the opportunities, and minimize the concern or threats, generally they are known as. Now, the effective, simple and common way to conduct the strategic plan is to use a SWOT analysis. So, if you want to have a strategic plan, you need to have a SWOT analysis report with you. That is the importance of this particular session. Now, how do we do this in an institution? Best way is to identify a leader or a facilitator. Now, this leader or facilitator can be from within the institute or can be outside the institute. Okay, and then you designate a recorder or backup, support assistance for that facilitator. That could be in group wise also. It could be in terms of clusters or it could be in terms of various groups basically. Now introduce SWOT and its purpose in your organization, because you need to tell them why are you doing this. Otherwise people may not come out and give you very frank answers for you to really get to the bottom of the some of the things which you want to reach out basically. Now divide the participant into smaller groups, because that will help you to collect information very precisely. Large groups will not answer properly and generally the sessions will be non-productive, I would say. Now reconvene the group after allocation time to share the result. Now you said this, is that what exactly you mean? So you have to tell them if there are any corrections that will be ironed out at that point of time. Then discuss and record the results and consensus, aligning to mission, vision and goals, analyzing for an action plan and any suitable suggestions. Now this is absolutely required, because nobody should feel that this is not what we said when you actually announce your SWOT analysis or put it in your website that these are our SWOT basically. So hence a process, a transparent process is absolutely necessary for you to do this. Now I will take one example. Now since I am a professor in BMS College of Engineering, Bengaluru, we did this exercise a couple of years earlier. May not be the best example, but it does give you an idea what we did. So we did identify a facilitator. We hired it from, requested from a senior professor at Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, because we have the access. And then we made sufficient number of groups, faculty groups to assist him. Many questions were asked and data was collected as has been enlisted earlier. And some of the things which came out is that one of the strengths is it is located in Bangalore and the startup capital of India. There are many things which can happen because of that particular thing. I have listed here, I'm not going to read it because it is available, this presentation is available. Some of the good things is there are plenty of SMEs are around and we are centrally located in the heart of Bangalore. Now that itself can attract many people here, and we are engaged in a good quality education, and the history also helps us because we are 76 years old. Some of these things. So you need to identify the strengths of an institution, your own institution, okay? And few other strengths which were recorded were a broad spectrum and depth of courses offered. Being a one of the old institution, we have a core engineering courses, all of them, you just name it, and also IT related latest, including the AI and ML course, which has been now making a lot of impact in terms of learning. So we do offer that kind of a thing. So that could be our strength basically. Similarly, while interacting, few more things came out. Some of them are, we have a superior caliber and composition of faculty members. Luckily, we have been able to retain them. If that is a strength, please note down that as a strength. We have been focusing on a continued learning department, nurturing student internship, adoption of digital learning and administration. So anything which in your institution you do, what your students say, or your faculty say, or others say, all that you need to look at carefully and analyze, are there your strengths? Only example we are giving, okay? So that how you list your strength. Similarly, you look at the weaknesses. One of the weaknesses is inadequate level of participation of foreign student. Though we are located in one of the happening city and on the heart of that city, we have about 2 to 3% of foreign students, but it has never gone to 8 to 10%. And their contribution is not really coming like in US, many universities, more of foreign students contribute than the local students probably. So that is not happening. So is that a weakness? If you are bold enough to accept it and try to improve upon that. Few other weaknesses recognized probably are inability to attract teachers from industry. Though it is an industrial hub, we are not being able to attract a quality industry person to come and teach us for a longer duration. They do come for guest lectures, but then that's not going to help your students, let us say. Now, inadequate commercialization of intellectual property generated. Quite a bit of our faculty and students do patent or come out with some kind of a good product. But from lab to scaling up is not happening. That's what we realize. So let us say that could be a weakness. So you should be bold enough to identify the weaknesses. So a couple of them will definitely emerge when you do this exercise. Moving on, you need to look at the opportunities, okay, and then seize the competition with the other academic institution. Now we look as, let us say, increased need to cross-disciplinary and humanities-related program. We have been very straight-jacketed with civil, mechanical, electrical, and all the projects are done in only one in that domain. So probably a time has come to go beyond that interdisciplinary, and with the new education policy 2020, multidisciplinary kind of a projects at the institute level or could be the best opportunities for to move around basically. So like that, you can identify a few more. Lastly, the challenges. Now, over-reliance on IT industry for placement. Now, we have been telling excellent placement, 80%, 70%. But if you look at it closely, majority of them are only IT related. Now, can we really work on core engineering placement? Can we really prepare our students for that kind of an employment? When you do that, you're really a good institution. Now, that is a challenge for us. So we need to take that. So one of the things which is, realize that. So like that, you can always look at many challenges. I've only given you the examples. Not here to talk about SWOC of a particular institution. Okay, so this is how it has to be done. Identify the internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. Do those survey, collect enough data, triangulate, okay, and then go back, get the consensus and start preparing the report, put it very pragmatically, and some of the things, particularly the concerns and the weaknesses, you should be bold enough to admit and bring it to the notice of the management. Now that is the key for this particular analysis. So in conclusion, SWOC analysis prompts you to move in a balanced way throughout your program or your for academic progress of your institution. It builds on your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. It will help you to seize the opportunities and counteract your concerns. Now, a SWOC analysis will be most helpful if used to support this particular analysis for the vision, mission and objectives you have already defined. I hope I have brought in some sense for the SWOC analysis. So best way is to practice it and compile it and do it for your own institutions and help your institutions to progress further. Thank you very much. Namaskar.